Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I'm being asked the same question over and over right now with the new fusion due to drop in literally 2 days. And the question is, how many shards do I need and how many potions do I need to be able to achieve the fusion? The potions one is a really simple answer and I'll go in and show you how. The shards one's a little bit more delicate because it kind of depends a bit on RNG. It also depends on what levels they put the different obtainable rares and epics at in these different events that are due to drop. So I can't give you a definite answer, but I'll give you kind of an answer based on history and give you my best guess. So let's talk about potions first. Now, with a traditional fusion, which is kind of what this is, there'll be a legendary champion at the top here. There'll be 4 epics across the middle, and then there'll be 16 rares. And then basically what you'll be doing is you'll be going out and trying to farm up those champions through the different events like the ice golems and the artifact events and the shard pools. And you will farm 16 rares. We believe it's going to be 16 of the same rare. There'll be 4 epics. We believe it's 4 of the same epics based on the news that has just dropped. And there's, when they do this, very usually the affinity is the same as the main affinity, which is spirit here. So I'm very confident that these are all going to be spirit affinity champions. And that gives us a little bit of a kind of good signal around how much prep we need to do. So we're going to start with a spirit affinity rare. Okay, and we look at how many pots do we need to be able to achieve the level up. So firstly, what we're going to have to do with this champion is take him up to, and it's not Nullhorn, by the way, before people say, oh, we need Nullhorn. It's not. It's going to be a new rare and a new epic. So we need them at level 4. Yeah, and we need to take them up to level 40. Yeah, you'll do that through farming them up through your campaign and stuff. And then we'll need to ascend them. So there's going to be 16 of these bad boys. And if we look here, we count it up as we go. So 4 and 2. Plus another 6 and 3. So we're at 10 and 5. Of the small pots, 10 and 5. Then we've got the medium-sized pots. So we've got 2 and 1. Yeah, this is easy maths, guys, but why not? 2 and 2. So 4 and 3 of the medium pots. And we're going to have to do that 16 times. Okay, we then move on to an epic. And again, you're going to have to take your epics up to 5 stars. So you have to max them out. You're going to have to upgrade into a 5-star. And then you have to level them up to 50 as well. And then we start ascending. So we're going to need, what we got here? 4 and 3 mediums. Plus another 7 and 5. So 11 and 8 medium pots. Plus another 9 and 7. So 11 and 8. That's 20 and 15 medium pots per epic. This is 20 and 15. And then we've got the legendary pots as well. So we need the 3 and 1. Plus another 3 and 2. So we need 6 and 3 per epic in the legendary pots. So apologies if this is now coming to the point where it's teaching you to suck eggs, but we've got 160 of the small green pots, 80 of the small arcane pots. You've then got 64 plus 80 of the medium-sized greens, which is going to be your 144 green pots, 48 plus 60 of the medium arcane ones, so you're going to be 108 required of those, and then 24 large, 12 large for the epic side of things. So that's what you're going to need to prep in order to get this fusion done. It's actually quite a lot. Actually quite a lot of pots. So definitely worth burning some of that energy in there before the event starts. Before you get kind of wrapped up in all the stuff you've got to do on a daily basis. If you can just tick this off before the fusion starts, that's a massive kind of like relief, you know, weight off of your mind when you actually get to doing the fusion. Now let's consider shard counts. Now, generally, there's 2 events for a fusion. There's quite a lot of information on this type of stuff on Reddit or on websites and stuff, but I was looking here a good post from WillWall555 on Reddit, and he's talking about here Champion Chase and Summon Rush. There's always 2 events. There's always a Champion Chase, there's always a Summon Rush, and during the same fusion, there's always going to be a 2 times event. So we've got a 2 times event coming. If you go to hellhades.com, my website, we always show the next 2 times event, which is due. So in 3 days' time, 3.5 days' time, there's going to be the 2 times Ancient Shard event, which probably means, because a 2 times event is better for champion chase points because you've got a better chance of pulling epics and legendaries, it probably means that this weekend is going to be a summon rush. Yeah, Raid will not often like marry up the two good things together. So chances are this weekend is going to be summon rush, and then the weekend after that is going to be champion chase. So the difference between the two events is that a champion chase event, you can get points from different things. So champion chase, you can get points from fusing champions that you've already kind of obtained. You can get points from going into the marketplace and buying a champion from here. You only get one, but you can get points from doing it in other ways. You can get points from pulling your mystery shards, yeah? So there's a lot of ways to get champion chase points, pulling like past fragments, that type of thing. So you really want to save your void shards and your sacred shards for the summon rush. The only way that doesn't happen is if when we do the kind of maths of what points do we need to get from where, or what rares, epics do we need to get from where, the only time that doesn't happen is when we look at the way it's set up and you actually don't need anything from a summon rush. I think that's only ever happened once in all the time I've played Raid. Normally you need something like 2,500 points on each of the events. And as I say, Will Wall here kind of talks through it and says, right, one of the critical events of every fusion is the champion chase. And to be able to do the required points, usually something around 3,000, you have to save shards. He's basically saying the best way to do this as a free-to-player is to try and obtain some of the kind of fragments and bits towards fusing the epic champions. So these two rares are obtainable from the bazaar, which I've been showing you on my free-to-play. And then the other two are farmable. And then you can get Broadmoor. This is 350 champion chase points. Same sort of thing with Relic Keeper. You can fuse him for 250 points and get these different rares, which are just farmable rares. And if you haven't done Razin yet, then each of the epics for Razin are worth 250 points. And Razin himself is worth 500 points. If you've saved up any past fragment events, or you've got Mithrala sitting there, or any of the Doom Tower epics or legendaries, then again, basically 250 for a normal epic, 350 for a void epic. You'll get those points for champion chase, and it's 500 points for a legendary, 650 for a void legendary. So you can kind of get yourself a little bit ahead of the game with champion chase. With champion chase as well, you get points based on the quality of champion that you pull. So if you pull in ancient shards and you pull an epic, you get the points for an epic. So again, it's just there's a little bit more RNG involved in that. It's also possible to pull the epic or rare champions you need for the fusion straight out of a shard. And if you do that, obviously it just reduces the amount of different events that you have to do in order to pull the overall legendary fusion champion. Now, Summon Rush is a little bit harder because it's a little bit more set in stone what you need to do. So it says here, this is the most difficult event if you're free to play. It's usually necessary to complete for the fusion, except for one that we've ever had. The fragment or the rare is usually at 3,000 points. And this means either 6 sacreds, best case scenario, or a combination of shards. And the way the shards are counted in terms of points, it's 500 points for a sacred, 120 for a void, and then 20 points for an ancient shard. So you can kind of do the maths on, you know, your shard counts and whether you feel like you've got enough. But you know, generally it's those summon rushes where people fail. And you can do things like on my free to play right now, I am doing some things to get myself more shards, and I've seen some other avenues for shards. You can see here I'm farming up the Spirit Keep as well because I need more Spirit Potions on my free to play. Let's quickly get this done, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm doing things like looking at where am I at on my missions. Yeah, I'm on my Arbiter kind of street, my Arbiter type of missions. I'm stuck on Force here, but that's fine. I'm stuck on Void there. But basically, I will get to Void Shard here and Void Shard here as soon as I clear those 2 keep missions. Okay, so I know that's another 240 points for a Summon Rush potentially if I can do it in time, and I can. There's nothing else to stop me from getting those 2 Void Shards. That's 240 points, which I wouldn't have had before, which I can obtain. I'm doing my referral program, which I've kind of gone into some depth on, but each of my alt account is now level 30. That's over 360 points. You can look to see if you've still got challenges to give you shards. I'm going to do these in a minute. Will give me another ancient, and then the next set give me a void in the dungeon area. So you kind of should be looking at that to see if you've done it or not. It might be that you've already done it. This is not possible for you, but I'm just kind of showing you a more rounded version. You should be buying up mystery shards every time they pop up in the market. It will help you with your champion chase to try and get your shard count up. Are you in a position that you can go and beat up another level of campaign and get yourself the sacred shard here? That's Nightmare Campaign. That's quite hard to do, but a lot of people just sit on it and don't do it. Can you push yourself up Doom Tower bosses and get yourself the odd shards that pop up here as well? So I think we got one at 90 and we got one, I think we got one before that maybe, or maybe not. No, just one at 90 and then one at the final stage. It's hard to do, but it is an option to do it. Clan boss on a daily basis is your best avenue. And then you've got areas like the bazaar. So are you able to buy a shard from here? Or are you able to buy the fragments from here to give yourself some champion chase points? Depends what you need. There's also areas like clan shop. Are you buying up fragments from here to enable yourself on the champion chase stuff? So there are kind of different areas in the game, but it is slim pickings. You know, quest lines, are you doing your daily quests every single day to then open up your monthly quests to give yourself another chance of sacred and a void shard here? So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can be doing, but it's not like shards just drop out of the sky. You know, shards are a tough commodity, especially the sacred shards. So you absolutely have to try and nail it whenever there's one available. Just kind of get it. Anyway, guys, look, hopefully that video was helpful. Hopefully it's answered the questions that people are asking. And yeah, let's hope that we're able to get over the line on this one, because this fusion is going to be a monster. Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.